Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. So it's been a while since my last video, but my wife and I, we went on a cruise. So we were just making content for that, and you should be able to see that on our other channel, which I will link in the description below. But we made a lot of content for that. That video is probably going to be a while before it comes out. However, we are working on our part 2 of the Fiji video. So I'll give you guys a sneak peek into what we did on our cruise. So check that out real quick. Back. So hopefully you all liked that video. It was great. We had a crazy time there. Like, it was amazing. But yeah, we have a few other trips coming up this year. Hopefully we can make it to London in a couple months. And then after that, we are going on a carnival cruise for one of my friend's birthday. So hopefully all that pans out and we can make those trips happen. Of course, I'll make sure that I get the content for you all. But yeah, we had a great time there. It was wonderful. Definitely want to do it again. The Norwegian class ships are great. You'll get to see a lot more like behind the scenes of what we did. But yeah, I figured I'd just update y'all a little bit on what's been going on lately. So not too much. I did record a video for y'all yesterday because I had got this little thing. It's the Oura Ring 4. But yeah, this app is pretty cool. Like, it'll give you all different types of information here. So I think everything looks good for me for now, but like, it'll tell you like, hey, when you woke up, when you fell asleep. I did some strength training yesterday, and you'll get like a whole timeline of everything that you've done. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I recorded a whole unboxing and everything, but this is what happened to my SD card when I went to go transfer the files. Yeah, look at that. So all of that footage is gone. But yeah, I love this thing. So here it is on my finger now. I love it. Like, tracks my sleep, gives me all types of data, like workouts, all that. So I'm loving it so far. But yeah, just gonna take a quick coffee break because I am getting just a little tired, a little overworked. So yeah, let's go make that real quick. But yeah, and the reason why we went out on a cruise is mainly just for my wife's birthday. So we went out there. As soon as we got back, my friends and I, we took her out to dinner in DC. Then her parents, we went out to dinner like on her actual birthday. They just took her out to Saki, where they like cook the food right in front of you. And then my parents actually took her out that weekend, so on that Saturday. And we took her out to Stony River, the steakhouse. So we went out a lot for her birthday, so hopefully she enjoyed it. But yeah, let me fix this coffee. All right, so I did want to touch on a question that I got on one of my videos. I'll put it right here, but his name it's Narad T. But sorry if I mispronounced your name, but you said you spoke on getting into healthcare after leaving cybersecurity. One day, would you make a video expounding on that pivot, how to go from one industry to another? Any other reason for the pivot other than the workforce reduction? Was there any pushback leaving a very popular industry? So yeah, great questions there. You had mentioned how to go from one industry to another, and it was pretty simple for me because I've done it multiple times, and it's mainly just resume optimization. And so that means tailoring the bullet points within your resume to sort of speak the language of that specific industry. Now, for me, sort of project management and sort of like that implementation, that's more so like universal, at least for me, or at least my thoughts, because, you know, you can do project management for any company. Like the principles of project management basically stays the same. I think it's just, you know, like how the company approaches it and how do they handle their projects. You know, what is the solution like, and sort of how does that fit into the process? And so for me, when I did that transition, I basically optimized my resume. I utilized ChatGPT to help me, you know, get the wording correct. I try to basically have good prompts for ChatGPT to, you know, make the change that I want. So just making sure that I highlight key points in my resume that will complement the industry that I want to be in. And so that's one tip that I would have for you. All right, you also asked any other reason for the pivot other than the workforce reduction. And I would say yes, there was one other reason for the pivot. And the main reason was I was not enjoying what I was doing on a day-to-day basis. I would say maybe around 8-9 months in, I felt miserable handling various programs. Of course, you have your highs and your lows. You know, I had some great programs. I worked with a lot of great leaders at that company, and yeah, there were some programs that I didn't really enjoy as much. Again, this was a global company that I was with, and you have to focus on varying time zones, various leadership styles. And, you know, I had a lot of fun during my time there as well on some programs. You know, I would always start off a meeting with some music, you know, get everybody hyped up for the meeting, because we all know like a status meeting update is boring, or, you know, presentations are boring. So I tried to, you know, spice things up a bit. Everybody loved it. But yeah, there were times where it was just, I would regret coming to work. And so, you know, that led me to look elsewhere. And of course, the workforce reduction basically like sort of forced me out. But, you know, working for bigger companies, you have to be careful because, you know, they're always doing layoffs. I would say majority of the time, like you're always hearing about Meta layoffs or Google layoffs or something. And so that was just one reason why I was looking elsewhere. And then you had mentioned, was there any pushback leaving a very popular industry? And so leaving cybersecurity was definitely something that I wanted to do. I spent about 5 years doing cybersecurity, and, you know, I was a SOC manager. So as you can tell, with just the amount of years that I was there, like I really enjoyed myself during that time, but I felt like I was sort of outgrowing that role a bit, and I knew I could do better elsewhere, right? I'm always looking for that next step up. And I've come to the realization that, you know, sometimes you may not have to step up. Sometimes you may have to step down just to get to that next level, right? Or that level you want to be at. And so when I transitioned out of cybersecurity, I was technically here. But then as it related to like pay and the maturity of the company, the maturity of the product, that was literally all the way up here. And so I would say one thing is money is not the answer. And while that was super hard for me to learn, I definitely sort of understand that when you're paid a higher amount, well, the company is expected to get that return on their investment, right? And so, you know, they will expect a lot from you when you are getting paid that top dollar. So yeah, just be mindful of that. I would say that I was a little hesitant by leaving such a popular industry, because you can almost always find jobs in cybersecurity, whether that's entry-level SOC analysts, you know, threat hunters, things like that. Like, there's always work that you can find there. But again, I was something that I pretty much sort of discussed with myself, like, maybe I'm outgrowing this. You know, there were times where I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. And so I always try to continue to build up my resume, continue to build up my experience, all the various industries that I'm working within, just to basically say, like, hey, I have this experience, I've been in this industry, like, you know, building that reputation that I can, you know, continuously iterate on, and, you know, just make myself a little bit more known. And so yeah, hopefully that answers your questions. Definitely put it in the comments if you have more questions. Happy to answer them. But yeah, I just wanted to give you all a quick update on my life so far. Definitely wanted to address those questions, but hopefully I can get back into the sort of regular vlogs for you all. You know, I have quite a few things coming up, like I mentioned, a few smaller things on the side as well that I'm looking to, you know, shoot some content for. But definitely like and subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more content coming out here shortly. But yeah, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.